I mean, what would you do if your loved one was found with 20 stab wounds to the back of the neck and back, and they ruled it self-inflicted? Strange things are happening to normal people every day, and you want to know about it, you little weirdo. Part 1. In 2001, Ellen Greenberg was a beautiful elementary school teacher living in Philadelphia. She lived in an apartment with her fiance, Samuel Goldberg. On January 26, 2011, a big blizzard hit Philadelphia, and Ellen's school was canceled early, and so she made her trek back home to her apartment. That's where she and Sam, according to him, just kind of had a normal time inside. At about 4:45, Sam goes down to the gym that was in their apartment to do like a 30-minute workout. When he returned, he tried to get into the apartment and it was locked. It was padlocked on the inside to where he couldn't get in. Now, he got extremely upset about this being locked out, and so he was knocking on the door, he was calling Ellen, and he was texting her, and he was pounding on the door trying to get her attention. And those texts read something like, "What's going on? What are you doing? Open the door. I'm getting pissed." Between 5:30 and 6:30, he continually tried to get into the apartment. He is seen walking downstairs trying to get security. He's trying to figure out how to open the door. He's pounding on the door. He's calling her over and over again, to no avail. At 6:30, he finally broke down the door and went into the apartment. And that is when he found Ellen, and there was red everywhere. He called 911. In the 911 call, he doesn't really explain things entirely, and he states that it looked like she fell on top of a knife and that there was some crazy accident. First responders found Ellen at 6:36, that's when they got there, and they found her sitting upright against two cabinets in the corner. There was a kitchen utensil in the middle of her chest through her clothing, about 4 inches in. At about 6:40, they did pronounce her unalived and began kind of assessing the scene. Now get this, Ellen had overall about 20 wounds from the kitchen utensil. 10 of those were to the back of the neck and upper back. She also had a wound on the top of her head that was pretty deep. There was also about 11 bruises that were different stages of healing all across her body. There was a thin red line going from her ear to her mouth, and that kind of indicated that she was laying down when at least some of this happened, or at some point. Surveillance cameras, of course, caught Sam going in and out. They did not catch anybody leaving the apartment, anything suspicious, anybody in the lobby, anywhere in the apartment building that could be suspicious. There was no note left, and it looked like there was no sign of a struggle. It's important that I also bring to attention that she was struggling a little bit with her mental health. She had seen a psychiatrist, but the psychiatrist had said that she had no signs of this type of event that would be self-inflicted. But she had been on and off some meds, trying to figure out what meds are going to work for her. Right away, police deemed this self-inflicted, self-done, and they closed the case and cleaned all of the apartment. After the autopsy, they went back and said, okay, this is an unaliving by someone else. But then the very next day, they changed their minds again and said that it was self-inflicted and basically closed the case. But Ellen's parents have been advocating for her since 2011 when this crime happened, and they have been wanting this case to be overturned, looked at again, basically give it a second glance. And basically they recently won. They won 2 civil lawsuits, and the case is going to be reopened and looked at again. So let's think about this, right? A woman is found to have multiple, and I do this not out of being like disrespectful or triggering or anything. That is hard to do, very hard to do. And I feel like this case, just something does not sit right with me. Some cases I will look at the evidence and I'm like, okay, maybe. There's a possibility. And to me, the possibility of her having a mental break, I can kind of see that because she was going off and on meds. She, was having a hard time with her mental health. And sometimes people snap and things happen. But when you look at the evidence, none of that makes sense. Her dad has recently come out and said that he believes that she had been a victim of two-handed necklace and that the wounds were there to cover it up and to make it look like it was self-inflicted, which, wow. What do you think on this case? I don't understand it. There's a lot of alarm bells going off in my mind. People don't usually do things through their clothing, for one. When you think about someone doing something self-inflicted, you always think about them rolling up their sleeves or pulling up their shirt. You never think of them doing it through clothing. It's very, very rare. Also, the bruises is a huge alarm bell to me. The fact that she had so many that were different stages. Samuel said that they were from yoga, but I just don't see it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below, and I will see you for Strange Cases Part 2.